Hey guys, King of Triumphs here to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and today I bring to you my best ABB team for the Element Cup Remix. So this team features Dewpider lead, Vulpix as your safe switch, and Slugma to close out. This is very akin to the Charm 2 shield strat. You do as much damage as you can with Dewpider and Vulpix, and then Slugma closes out with shields. Very simple and basic team. Yes, Slugma lead beats your entire team, but I will show you how to take out Slugma leads in this shoutcast. I've gotten all positive sets so far, and it's a very solid team. So Slugma Rock Throw strat in the back does really well. So hope y'all enjoyed the shoutcast. But before we get started, it's gonna be my therapist mental health tip of the day, and it's going to be about, well, you can skip this if you go ahead of the chapters, but this stuff is really important because I am a mental health clinician. I'm a mental health therapist, so I am very expertised in this, more so than 99% of the population. Actually, it's like the amount of mental health professionals in the world are like literally like less than 1% of the population. If you take the whole world's population and you put like a math thing to it, yeah, it's less than 1%. But this is about self-love. Therapist mental health today is about self-love. I haven't been too kind to myself. Despite everything I have, I am an amazing therapist. All my school sites love me. I've gotten nothing but praise from the principals, the staff I work with, the teachers I work with, and my kids themselves. And even as a wrestling coach, and for some odd reason, that's not enough. So, from my own experience, just because you do a lot of things for other people, that doesn't mean you're fulfilled. So, what is self-love? There's a lot of talk these days about self-love. It sounds great, but what does it actually mean? Again, this is from Psych Central. All of their articles are reviewed or made by licensed clinicians or mental health professionals or expertise in their field. So I love Psych Central. It's beautiful. So what does self-love look like? Saying positive things to yourself, forgiving yourself when you mess up, meeting your own needs, being assertive. There's a lot of lists on these things that make sure, and self-love is so important. How we look at ourselves affects how everything we do in life, everything we are. Even though I know I'm incredibly amazing, even though I know other people view me as this amazing human being, etc., the problem is I still don't believe it's enough. And self-love is, as I turn 30 this year, something that I really need to work on. Just because someone else has all these other things, that doesn't, one of the most important things is the love for yourself. If you can't be happy by yourself, then a lot of bad things happen. Luckily, I have a lot of experience being alone, so with that, I can be mindful and be present in this moment. So without self-love, you're likely to be self-critical and fall into people-pleasing and perfectionism. That's the thing. So it's super important. So I'm kind to myself, but I'm not kind to myself all the time. And even though as much as I do, and as fulfilled as my career field is, this is what it is. So definitely take a look at this article and putting it into practice. One good thing is I'll take a break and focus on myself after I've taken care of my family. Take care of yourselves before you take care of anybody else. If you don't feel that fulfillment, then there's always something to work on. Like I mentioned, for me, myself, as I revealed to you, even though I have a loving community and everything like that, I'm still not fulfilled. So I'm always working on that. I'm doing my best. I appreciate y'all. And without further ado, this is my top ABB team for Element Cup Remix, and let's get started. All right, here are the battles. We got Dewpider versus Slugma. This is a losing lead from hell, but that's also a shiny Slugma, so I'm also mad jelly. It's like silver, and I never got one, but it looks really good. So what I usually do here is I'm going to fire a Bubble Beam, then switch out. The reason being is because Slugma beats our entire team. So whether they eat it or not, it depends. So as you see, Slugma eats the Bubble Beam, and I shield just because Slugma also has Rock Slide, so it's going to suck a lot. Plus, we can farm down Slugma here. And as you see, we are able to farm it down, and we have a shield disadvantage, but this is perfectly fine. What happens with this team is it's very much like the Charm 2 shield strat. You save your shields for Slugma, and Slugma can wipe out the rest of the team. You just do as much damage as humanly possible, especially if your opponent isn't using their shields, like Charm and like Bastiodon strats. We're going to straight body slam here. I'm going to do as much damage as possible. They blow their energy here, and then all I have to do is send in Slugma, and you already know what Slugma's going to do. If our opponent does not have a hard counter to Slugma, then all this fast move damage will take them out. As you see, their back row, they got a Bulbasaur. And if it's a Bulbasaur, as you see here, Bulbasaur is taking a lot of damage from Rock Throw. All we got to do is I can shield this, and then even if Bulbasaur gets to a second move, Dewpider should be able to Bug Bite down for the W. So this team is very simple. Like, you save the shield for you save the shield. I showed you how you go against Slugma because Slugma beats your entire team. That's an example you can use right there. Now you have Seel versus Dupiter. So in this instance, Seel actually wins the 2 shield. So what's going to happen here is that they're going to try to... what happens, in order for them to beat you, Seel will Icy Wind first, then it can go straight Aqua Tail. As you see here, you're going to just straight Bubble Beam. The idea in here against Seel is to just do as much damage as possible. Then Vulpix comes in and it just quick attacks down. And then you just save your shields for Slugma. There's no point in shielding anything from Seel. If you debuff it with Bubble Beam, you're fine. As you see here, Aqua Tail still does big damage even though it's resisted, but it's starting to add up. So they're going to blow all their energy. The idea is to come out with energy advantage, or the energy advantage with Vulpix. And then we're going to close it off with Slugma being able to rock throw down. That's literally what happens. Aqua Tail goes off. I'm going to swap here because it's always dead and we can preserve something. So if you don't end up dying fully, try to switch out because Vulpix has very neutral matchups. It gets a lot of things unless it's a Wooper. If it's a Wooper, you're in trouble. But outside of Wooper, Vulpix can handle a lot of things in this meta. As you see here, we get to do Dupiter, which isn't necessarily terrible because you resist Bug Bite. But Bubble Beam, as you see there, it does like a 30% of Vulpix's health. So it's still not healthy. It's still not comfortable, you know what I mean? We're going to absolutely ball out like the Warriors are balling out this season because they're... Yeah. Losing GP2 hurts a lot. If you are a basketball tat, I love GP2. Gary Payton II. He was defensively a monster, and we had such a veteran bench. And my God, I'm hoping they figure it out later on. But yes, I'm a Warriors fan. And yeah, I'm kind of sad, but it's okay. And as you see, we got a Litwick, and that's GG's. Because all I got to do is send in Slugma. They have a shield. And remember what I told you about just throwing rocks? Yeah, you're going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink. Well, you won't need to here because, as you see, I'm going to shield the flame charge. And then everything my opponent has is so hurt that rock throws will just finish them off. As you see here, rock throw, yay, charm, 1 shield strat. Literally. And poor Seel goes down. Again, you do as much damage with Dupiter and Vulpix as possible, and then you beat the unholy crap out of your opponent. Dupiter versus Slowpoke. This is why Dupiter is awesome, because it does, as you see here, it's chipping away at Slowpoke, and your opponent's like, oh my God. But here's the problem, though. We get Wooper, and this is where we want Wooper. We want Wooper versus Dupiter, because unless it's Body Slam, you resist everything Wooper has to offer. You resist Mud Bomb, you also resist Mud Shots. So you're going to straight Bubble Beam here and do as much damage as humanly possible. You don't want to swap out because Wooper is going to beat your back row. So for this ABB team, you technically want to draw... This is where we want to draw out Wooper. So now that we have the Wooper in place, then we're just going to stay in Bubble Beam down. And then Slowpoke, even though it's a water type, Slowpoke doesn't do well of the pressure of Vulpix. And because Rock Throw does neutral damage, it still does a lot. So you're going to see here just how effective Rock Throws are. Body Slams go off, the Bubble Beams start adding up, and we can go ahead and Bug Bite down. As you see, Wooper's gone, Dupiter did its job, and we get a Vulpix. This is terrible for our opponent because all we have to do is Bubble Beam here, and we are putting our opponent's Vulpix in a lot of danger. I have shield advantage. I don't have shield. I have 2 healthy Mons in the back, and we still have Slugma. Our opponent fires here. We're not going to do anything. We just save our shield for Slugma. All I'm going to do here is send in Slugma, Rock Throw down, and then, send in Vulpix. Rock Throw, as you see here. I'm all mixed up because I have 2 fire types in the back. But as you see here, against the Shadow Slowpoke, as you see, Slugma is doing its job, yo. It is going ahead, and it is smacking the unholy crap out of this poor Slowpoke. I let this go, though, as you see here. The reason I let it go is because this is the safer win condition. I could have just shielded and Rock Throw down, but what I want to do here, in the case of lag, farm down and double Body Slam. In the case of lag. You know, in case of emergency, you break this, like, you know, the little things you see out there, like, if this is, in case of emergency, we're going to get the safer win condition here. So instead of Rock Throwing down, all I'm going to do is just double Body Slam. And we still have a shield anyways, so we just clutch the win condition right there. Next, we have Dupiter versus Slugma. A second scenario of your whole team losing to Slugma. Oh, this is a case of where their Slugma actually shields the Bubble Beam and you come out with shield advantage. So I showed you the first one if they eat the Bubble Beam. As you see, Bubble Beam does a humongous amount of damage, and then you just take out Slugma outright. As you see here, our opponent will shield. So if they shield, send in Vulpix. Debuff them first, send in Vulpix. You don't have to shield here because 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be a flame charge. I shield here just in case, just put it in even scenarios. And this is a Piplup. And my brain is like, oh god, this is terrible. Because even though Piplup doesn't have that fast move pressure, the problem is Piplup has Bubble Beam. And as you see here, Piplup is just rocking out. Piplup actually isn't a bad mon for the sheer fact that it has Bubble Beam and it has Bubble. So as you see here, it does really well against against the fire types of this meta. So I'm losing lead. I'm technically losing switch here. I'm going to fire the body slam. We take out the Piplup and we win back switch. They send in their own Slugma, and now we've set it up to where now that Slugma has so much damage on them, we can send in our own Slugma and rock throw down. As you see here, we get a Paris, which Paris is actually really good for the fact that it is a bug. It is bug and grass. So bug and grass gives water a hard time unless it's a Dewpider, because as you see, bug bites are doing super effective damage, and that's GG's. So outside of Dewpider, Paris can do well. Keyword is can. Dewpider is the better one though. Last but not least, we have if Dewpider just straight out flat out wins the lead. If it wins the lead right here, all you do is stay in. Energy Ball does big damage, but you're gonna be able to Bubble Beam and lower it down. I could have shielded here, but like I mentioned, you can eat an Energy Ball. So, and the thing about Snover beats grass types. That's pretty much it. Other than that, it loses to Slugma and a lot of things. It's still good, but not as great as a lot of other picks out here in this meta. So you're getting to see a lot of variety of what can be available. And this is actually worst case scenario because I get a Wooper. So even though I won the lead, as you see, Wooper comes in, it's going to take out my Dewpider. We don't want Wooper to go against anything in the back. You know what I mean? Burger King is oh god, no. Burger King is not a great burger joint. Please wash my mouth full of salt because there are tons of places that way better burgers than Whoppers. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, I love food, and yeah, there's no way Burger King is better than a lot of different chains out there. It's okay. It's okay, but like, you got like Whataburger, In-N-Out. And then I don't even get the whole In-N-Out versus Whataburger argument because like I'm from California and I've been in Texas because of Air Force basic military training and Arizona, and I'm confused. I'm like, why is Whataburger, like, this argument goes on forever. And as you see, Go Battle Lag takes our opponent's soul. Even if they had the energy, it wouldn't matter because there is a Shadow Charmander in the back. So even if they had all that energy, it would have lost just because I just smacked them down. And that, so unfortunately, the dark tale about the story is I've had to kill a Charmander in order to win. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. And that's game. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I am so excited because literally after this, I'm going to pick up my copy of Scarlet. So look out later today. I'm going to try to do a Pogo video and a Scarlet video, but what's going to happen is that it's usually going to be a Pogo video and a Scarlet video, or it's just going to be a Scarlet video for the day. So I'm going to try to do both. There's a lot of content to work with here, and I'm really excited to dive into a game. And it's super popular on Twitch right now, and everything. It's literally killing Pokemon Go. I remember I saw a screenshot of like Pokemon Go having only 400 viewers, and literally Sword and Shield had 120k. So I'm super excited. I hope y'all are super excited. If y'all are already playing it, don't spoil it. But you're going to see me make some content out of it, and I hope y'all enjoy those videos, and I really do appreciate y'all. But like I said, keep my first one to heart. That's really important. And despite it's so, like, self-love is so important. To tell you, and a lot of people, what they do in videos and everything like that, especially Pokemon Go PvP, they show you the most vulnerable version of themselves unless they're like in a little poll. Like, yeah. We're so toxic positive in Pokemon Go PvP that despite the fact that the numbers don't show, we try to think our game is the greatest thing in the world. And for some reason, a monolith like Niantic, we're making every excuse in the world for them to somehow, they're going to do it, and let's just hope they're going to fix something. And look at what's gone on in the world. But no matter if you make Legend or not, I love y'all. I probably have a lot of people that love you. Legend in comparison to all the other things in the world, whether it be personal or professional, doesn't matter. No one in the outside world, our majority of people are going to give a rat's ass that you're a legend. They really don't. You have someone that's like, oh, I'm Predator at Apex. A lot of people will be like, oh, that's really cool. I know that game. Oh, I'm a legend in Pokemon Go PvP. And then you're just going to hear crickets. As sad as it is true. If that's what floats your boat, okay, that's fine. But humble yourselves because we aren't the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that's factual. Make sure y'all love yourselves. Make sure you take care of yourselves. I look forward to seeing you guys in my Scarlet and Violet content. Still doing Pokemon Go on the side. But good luck on your Go Battle League sets. And I will see y'all on the next video.